Welcome back, lovely people, to the Sisterhood in Session podcast. I can't believe I am saying these words out loud, that it is my 100th episode recording this. And I have to confess, it will be 2 years old in March. And when I first started the podcast, first of all, I didn't really know what one was, I confess. And then, I thought, well, we'll just see how things go. And I will invite the ladies that I meet on my travels as part of the Sisterhood networking group. And then we'll just see what happens. And now here we are at 100 episodes with a super special guest. Now I'm going to hand over to you now and I'm going to ask her to introduce herself. Would you please say hello to all my lovely listeners? I don't even want to say your name because I'm so excited to chat to you.
Hello, gorgeous listeners of the Sisterhood podcast. I am Nicky Hambleton-Jones, and hopefully you remember me from my heyday of presenting 10 years younger on Channel 4, but I am super excited and privileged to be not only celebrating the podcast and the 100th episode, but to be the guest on the 100th episode of the Sisterhood podcast.
Oh, thank you so much. It is such a treat to be chatting to you. And I said before we started recording, I said, I've got a little story about you being here with me today. So I am very much the universe puts things in front of you when you need it the most. And I had been holding off figuring out who my 100th podcast guest was going to be. And I kept saying to myself, someone is going to just put themselves in front of me when the time is right. But time was ticking away. We were talking like sort of 2 weeks to go. And then you literally just dropped into my inbox. And so it's just so funny how the universe does really listen. So if you really want something, folks, just put it out into the universe, believe that something special is going to happen, and I can promise you that it really does.
Amazing how it works. I always
Oh,
do a 21-day manifesting
yes.
challenge beginning of January because it's so good to just align yourself with your dreams and your goals and really release all of that into the universe and release control of it because I'm such a control freak. And it's like,
Me
but if this
too.
doesn't happen, then what am I going to do? And it's just like, you know what's meant to be will be, and this is what I want. So be very clear about what I want to happen. But at the same time, if it's not for my greater good, then obviously that's up to the universe, right? But it
Yeah.
is so powerful how you can just, you know, nothing can be happening. You can be in such a bad place or
Yeah.
worrying about something, and then boom, the answer is provided for. I just think
Yeah,
it's incredible.
yeah. So, yeah, thank you so much for being here on such a special occasion for me. So, before we get to chatting, would you tell everybody where you would like your story to start? Where are you going to take us back to, Nikki?
Well, why don't we? I grew up. Let's go back to growing up days.
Yes.
I grew up in South Africa, and I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I was very keen on being a hairdresser, but my parents had other ideas. And I mean, I see it with my own kids. You have no idea what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
And so my dad decided, actually very sensible, and it was a new industry, a new career would be to train as a dietitian. So I just did that because that was a good suggestion. And
Yeah.
I was
Seemed like a
interested in
good
food and
idea at the
nutrition.
time.
Brilliant. Went off, did a BSc in dietetics. And in my final year, literally 3 months before my final exams, I had a complete meltdown of like, what am I doing? This is not what I want to do. I want to work in fashion. I have no idea what sparked that or why I thought that, but I've always had this fashion is where I need to be. And obviously, growing up in South Africa, there isn't really a fashion industry. They aren't retail shops like we have here. So it wasn't like something you could do easily.
Yeah.
And I remember phoning my dad and going, I want to drop out of university. I want to go and do fashion. He was like, no, stay. You must finish the course. Stay on your path. And he drove all the way down and he took me out for lunch. And he's like, right, this is your goal. You're going to be a great dietitian. Keep going. You're just freaking out because you got your exam. So I
Yeah.
went off, finished my BSc, then went to do an honors in dietetics, then set up my own business as a dietitian. And then again, had that moment of what am I doing? Like, is this really what I want to do? I enjoy the business side, don't enjoy the nutrition side. So then ended up going to business school, working as a management consultant, then came over to the UK because that's what everyone was doing at that time. And I always had this burning desire to live abroad.
What
And
year? What year was that, Nikki?
90, I came over in 95.
Oh my goodness. God, that's
So a long
yeah.
time ago now. And I
Yeah.
remember the plane coming into land, and I had my, backpack with me with all my life possessions. And the pilot just said, "Welcome to London, everybody. And if you're tired of life, I mean, if you're tired of London, you are tired of life." And I just
Ah,
remember thinking, yes, this is my home.
this
And
is
it's
this is
so
where I'm
true.
meant to be.
I was just, oh my God, amazing. So arrived in London, knew one friend, went to crash with her at her bed sit, and
What did
ended up,
what did your dad make of your move? Because obviously he had a very clear picture of what he wanted you to do. Was he supportive, or did you go, I'm just going anyway?
I think my parents had kind of given up at this point. Um, I'd done so many different things, and their biggest concern was, if you go, you'll never come back. And it's funny, isn't it, how you just
Yeah.
have those feelings, and that
Yeah.
they completely was true.
It was
Um,
right, yeah.
so I arrived in London. I ended up temping. Thought I'd go back to dietetics because I could work in, but then the only jobs available working in the kitchen, in a hospital. I specialized in critical care. And I was like, honestly, wearing a hairnet, gloves, apron, in a kitchen, producing 1,000 meals a day is just not what I was destined to be.
I was going to say, I can't actually picture you doing something like that. Uh,
So so that died a death, and I just ended up temping and found my way back into management consultancy, and spent a year traveling the world. I worked and lived in Luxembourg, New York, San Francisco, and we just commute back and forth, and it was all very glamorous, but actually it was quite lonely because you just spent your life on a plane going back and forth. Commuting back and forth to San Francisco every week is
that's a
just not fun.
lot.
It's a
That's a
lot.
lot.
I was just lived in a blur of jet lag.
Yeah.
So came back from San Francisco for a meeting in the office, and got to work, went to the meeting, and was told you're being made redundant. And it was all
Oh,
like, but all my stuff still in a different country, and it was all just a complete shock.
yeah.
And it was of the moment where you can't go back to your desk. You just got to go straight from this meeting out the door. It was all just very like, oh my God, what have I done?
Any warning that that was coming at all?
No
You had no.
warning, no
Oh my
nothing. It was a
God.
complete shock, right?
Wow.
To be honest, this was my third redundancy in about 4 years at this point. So I was just like, okay, this is definitely a sign from the universe that I'm not in the right place.
Not meant to be
Okay.
doing that anymore.
When
Yeah.
something keeps happening to you, and you're not learning that lesson, it's going to keep happening. All
Yeah.
right. So by this time I was like, wake up, girl, smell the coffee, sort your life out. So I
Yes.
walk into IT and we told you deliver my laptop. And they were like, oh my God, we're so sorry. This is such a shock. We're really gonna miss you. And I was like, don't worry. One day I'll be famous. Watch this space. And I just
Ah,
whirled out and marched out the door thinking like, oh my God, I'm about to turn 30. I've just lost my job again. And I've just said to some random IT person that I'm going to be famous one day. What is that about?
but that ties into what we were saying right at the start, right? You knew in your heart of hearts, you knew that the universe was going to have your back and that it was going to play out in just the way that you hoped.
Well, I had no plan. I had no idea. I just knew something had to change. And I
Yes.
hired a life coach. A friend of mine actually had just trained to be a life coach. It was all very new then. This is 19, 2000. This is, no,
Okay.
2001. This is beginning of 2001.
Yeah.
And I hired her and she just said, what are you passionate about? And I said, fashion. It just wasn't even like something I had to bat an eyelid. And I was now turning 30 and I was still talking fashion. And she was like, okay, what can you do in fashion? And I was like, well, I feel like it's too late to go back and work on a magazine and unpack the fashion cupboard and start at the bottom because, everyone's straight out of uni doing that.
Yeah.
But I have a real passion for transformation. I love, being a dietitian and, for me, it's all about helping people live their best lives and look and feel their best. So, and people are always asking me for clothes advice and take them shopping. So maybe this is something I could do as a business. So
Yes.
I started, so she said, well, just go for it. And I was like, yeah, okay,
How does that
right.
happen then?
Yeah.
How do I make
Like,
that happen?
so I've got my £10,000 redundancy payout, right? I'm paying a mortgage, I'm living on my own. And I'm like, okay, just make this happen. So she was like, by the time we speak next week, you need to have your first client. And I was like, right, okay, did nothing, complete denial, just going to completely ignore that totally. And then the day before my next coaching call, the phone rings, the landline in those days, we had landlines. And
Yes.
this girl said, hi, my name's Rachel. I've heard about you. I need a stylist.
No
Can you come and
way.
style me? So I was like, yeah, sure. Now, bearing in mind, I'd never done this before in my life. I had no idea how to do it. I hadn't been trained in this. I mean, there was just like nothing. And I was like, yeah, sure. When did you have in mind? And she was like, tomorrow. And I was like, tomorrow, right. Okay, now this is literally throwing me out of my comfort zone into the fire instantly. And I was
It,
just like, do you know what?
this is literally the definition of fake it till you make it, right?
100%. I was like, yeah, great. What can go wrong?
Yes.
So I just arrived at her house and I said, okay, well, let's just start decluttering your wardrobe. Never done that before. Just going to feel my way through it.
I love
And
this so much.
I'm really curvy. I've got a huge bum. I'm, huge. She was just had a really negative body image. And I was like, you
Oh,
are curvy, but I'm not seeing huge. What's making you look huge is the fact that you're wearing clothes that are too big for you because you're trying to fit your bum and not your waist. So she was like, oh my God. So very quickly, it was like, this wardrobe all has to go because you're wearing size 14s. And trust me when I say you're a size 10. She was like, no, 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 there's no ways. Have you seen my bum? And I just said, we just need to go shopping. So I then took her shopping straight away. Like
yeah.
normally you would do a wardrobe, you would consolidate that, you would be
Yeah.
exhausted, then you would prep and you would think about what look and you go and see. We went straight out.
Yeah.
And
I love this.
we then spent about 3 hours shopping. And oh my God, like I totally transformed her. And it just blew her world apart
Oh
in a
my
good way. Like
God.
within a week, she had a job promotion and then she met the man of her dreams within a month. She just felt phenomenal because she was a size 10 and sexy and sassy and gorgeous. I got back after
Oh.
that totally exhausted. Like I
Okay.
was just like, oh my God, I'm not sure I can do this. This is so draining.
Oh,
It's
so
like,
I'm thinking that you would be floating on cloud nine going, oh my God, I nailed that. Let's
yeah.
go.
So I was at first just like shocked at just how tiring it was. But then there was the buzz of, oh my God, there's something in this, right? I
Yes, the
totally,
dopamine here of
and
you.
all
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did was change what she wore. Like that is so powerful
yeah,
because so in our lives, people, oh, I need to lose weight. I need to go to the gym. I need to eat healthier. I need to do meditate more. And it's all just overwhelming. Whereas I can make you look amazing right now. Come out with me, let me style you, and it doesn't matter what shape or size you are, you will look amazing. I will get you there instantly. And then once you see yourself differently in the mirror, like you flick that switch, you're motivated. When you feel
yeah,
good, you're motivated. You find the time to go to the gym. You think differently about what you're eating. You find that extra bit of time to meditate or, I don't know, whatever it is, right? You're
yeah,
going out more, you're feeling good. Your energy changes. Um, and that's what got me excited is the power of an energy shift, that instant energy shift that I can do for someone. It's a bit like a new hairstyle, but a new hairstyle looks great as you leave the salon, but then the next day it's not so great when you try and do it
yeah,
yourself. Whereas styling is, got much more
yeah, much more
impact.
longevity. So after you'd had a chance to decompress from that first that first trip out, did you feel I found my path now? This feels like where I'm meant to be?
Yes. So I felt very inspired, excited,
Yes.
energized. But the reality was what I was doing was completely new. So there was image consultants around at the time who taught you, this and that. But there wasn't anyone who was taking you shopping and just transforming your look. And with a new thing, it's great to be the first one, but it's also not so great being the first one because you've got to educate people as to why they need to invest in this and what
Yes.
you do and how it
Yes.
works. So there I was like, oh my God, this is my new thing. This is all exciting. I'm going to start my own business. I called it Tramp to Vamp. I kid you not.
Oh my God, I love that so.
Um, Hello. And
That's
but it
brilliant.
was really slow going. So basically, I think I made £5,000 in my first year.
Oh wow.
Um,
Okay.
and so I was loving it. And every time I had a client, it was amazing. But then the reality was, how am I going to pay my mortgage?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was, but I just loved it so much that I thought, right, I'm not going to let this hold me back. I just need to free myself from the mortgage. So I ended up moving out of my flat and moving in with friends. And I pretty much moved around between friends, really good friends, shall I say, lived out of my car for about 10 months. I just moved
Wow.
between friends so that I could just be completely liquid. And then
Yeah.
after about 10 months, it was like, okay, I still want to do this, but I really need to kind of live in one place. It's just too much moving around. So I ended up getting a part-time job in PR so that I could work 3 days a week and do my styling 2 days a week. So that all kept me afloat, kept me going. And then even with all of that, you have your moments, right? Of just like, is this ever going to really, am I ever going to be able to do this full time? Am I ever going to actually earn a decent income compared to what I was earning as a management consultant? It was hard. And you
It's
have
a
those
roller
moments.
coaster, isn't it? We talk about that a lot on here. You have this dream, you have this passion, something that you feel like you're called to do, but the reality of taking it from, maybe a hobby or a passion into a full-blown business that can pay your bills, you have to be patient for a start. I always say that. Bide your time and keep at it. That's the thing. People quit, don't they, quite quickly with things, but obviously you didn't. So, so
Yeah,
far
well, I
being
tried.
for a
I
bit.
tried a few times. It's not like I felt great. I mean, but the one, I just remember this day so clearly where it was again pouring with rain. I was struggling financially and I was tired of having to juggle two jobs. And I just thought, what am I doing? Like, this is just ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
And I started like just looking for part-time jobs or other full-time jobs. Let's just go back to the city. Let's just get real. Let's just go and do that. And while
Okay.
I was searching for full-time jobs, I got an email came through from a production company who had found my website on the internet and wanted me to come in for a screen test. And that was 10 years younger. Um,
Ah!
so it was just, but again, it's the universe intervening. Sometimes I feel like the universe makes you get to that really low moment, tests your strength, tests your passion and
Yes.
your drive. But then when you do actually go, do you know what? I really am. I've got to be realistic. They go, oh no, 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 no,
Hang
no, no, no.
on.
Hold on.
Just don't stop. Don't stop. I've got something for you. Yeah. Oh my
Um,
God. So how did you feel when that email landed in your inbox? What was your first reaction?
my first reaction was, oh my God, this is it. I just knew it was going to happen. And I
Because
think, I
you
had,
literally said it out loud that you were going to be famous.
yeah, I said it out loud, I'm going to be famous. I had somehow manifested it. And this must have been like at least 18 months. This was 2002. This was it, was or beginning of 2003, I think, something like
Yeah.
that
Wow.
this email came through. So maybe it was 18 months, almost 2 years since the whole redundancy thing.
Yeah.
So it had been quite a long haul of struggle. But when I read it, I just knew this is
Yeah.
it. This is the
This
one. I
is
just
the one.
knew it was mine.
Yeah.
Um, and it didn't quite go perfectly like that because there was like, oh, well, we're not sure if you're right because you're South African and you're this and you're that, and it went through a lot. But I just always knew you can take
Yeah.
as long as you think you need to make up your mind. But I know that this is mine.
Yes.
Um, so
Oh,
gut
so
feel, I
exciting.
think, is just I just have such a strong gut feel, and I know when things are going to go badly, which is also not
Yeah,
great. And I
that's not
know
a
when
bad thing either, is it? We need to trust our gut more, don't we? I think.
we do,
Yeah.
100%. So I did 10 years younger for 5 years, and it was it was amazing on many levels. It was also tough because you don't, I did it, and lots of people do it. oh, I just want to be famous. This is going to be great. And actually, being famous is not that great.
Mm.
Because you
Ah,
all of a sudden exposed. You're
yes.
very exposed, and you don't think about that. You just think about, oh, your name and lights is all very exciting. But all of a sudden you're exposed. And when I did 10 Years Younger, it was even before the Instagram era. All you had was Google at that point. So
Yeah.
you can imagine if it's now. But you all of a sudden everyone has an opinion, everyone has, not every lots of people don't like you, some people like you, everyone criticizes you. And I found that really tough because that
Yeah.
wasn't something you ever, I'm a very sensitive person, I'm a Pisces, and no one coaches you for that. It's just be on TV, this is all very exciting. And no one
Yeah.
coaches you for the sort of behind the scenes.
Yeah, preparing you
um
for because you are, yeah, you're putting yourself out there
yeah,
for, yeah. Obviously, there's the good stuff, isn't there? All the lovely parties and the glamorous things that you can get involved in. But then there's having to deal with the criticism, like you said. How did you? And you must have quite a thick skin now because
it's
people do think
taken
they know
years.
you, don't they?
I
If
mean,
you're,
I think also I always felt like a little bit of a fraud. I felt like I had such bad imposter syndrome because
oh,
wasn't a classic fashionista. I was just started up as a personal stylist. No one else was doing it. Um, but I was never sort of, and people were like, why her? Why not, someone who's a proper fashion person or whatever? So I always had that sense of, well, actually doubting myself. Can I actually do this? Am I a fraud? And then that compiled with all the sort of criticism and trolling that you
yeah,
get was really, really tough to handle. What I think the thing that keeps me steady is the fact that I have a great support network around me. So I never got sucked into the whole frivolous nature of media. All the friends I have now are the friends I had then.
oh,
My husband is the same husband.
yeah,
And I have that sort of really close knit circle around me that has been with me through the highs and the lows.
yeah.
And that they've never judged me any differently,
Yeah,
depending on whether I'm up here or down there. And I
yeah,
think that makes a huge difference
yes,
because if you do surround yourself by people who are only there for the good times, when
yes,
the bad times come, you are very much alone.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Well,
and that's where people
can
struggle.
I can just touch on the imposter syndrome because
Yeah,
again, that's something that I think women, particularly women in business, solo business owners, struggle with. I've struggled with it. I still struggle with it. Um, have that little voice in your head saying, "Who are you
yeah,
to, put yourself out there and, do this and do that?" And I think it's true of any size business.
yeah.
It might be you just want a small business, but you're worried about judgment, what your friends and your family are going to think. Who does she think she is? Putting herself out there doing this. What would you say to anybody that's, struggling with that?
Sometimes it's really hard when you feel it yourself, you need to step out of yourself. So in my book, Bolder Not Older, I talk a little bit about having an alter ego. So when you have to, give a talk, give a presentation, go to a meeting where you're trying to, seal the deal or, stand up and convince everyone why you're so amazing, and it just feels so awkward and uncomfortable. That's when it's time to become the person that you feel would be everything you want to be. And that is
Yes.
really you, but it's stepping out of yourself, stepping out of your head that's got all those messages going around and stepping into someone who's invincible. So my alter ego is Ava Storm. So I have a whole avatar, I have a whole what she looks like. It's a whole visual thing. And when I'm in that spiral of like, oh, everyone's laughing at me, they think I'm a loser. I can't do this. I'm useless. I've got no talent. Honestly, all these thoughts going, I just go, what would Ava say?
I
And
love it so
you
much.
know, and
Yes.
Ava would say, honey, you've got this. You own it. You are the one that's there. No one else. So go and show them how amazing you are and what you've got to offer. And then I put
Yes.
on my most powerful outfit and I just go and own the room because that's so it's not what you feel, it's what you project.
Yes, I love this so much. I don't actually have names because I have various different hats that I feel like I wear. But I am very much. People always go, "Oh, you're so outgoing. You can, you can walk into any room and get to know everybody really easily." Actually, I find that as Sarah really difficult.
Yeah.
I'm what I would call an introvert extrovert. So if I'm walking into a room as Sarah, the business owner, I can talk to anybody. I can strike up a conversation with anyone. I can, hold the room with a networking meeting. I can stand on stage in front of hundreds of people. That does not faze me at all. Ask me to walk into a party with a bunch of people that I've never met, and I really struggle with that. So I can absolutely resonate with what you're saying.
Mm.
Give yourself an alter ego, or imagine that you're just wearing a different hat. That's how I
Yeah.
describe it. So that you're not you when you're putting yourself out there and doing something that is taking you out of your comfort zone. You're not the person that you are at home. You are the business persona that you want to embody, or whatever it is. However you want to talk to yourself about it.
You're
But
showing up as the person you want to be, right? And
yes,
you're embodying that person now. So
yeah,
instead of waiting for all the success and everything to happen so that you can go, oh yeah, look at me, aren't I great? You're like, no, this I'm living it now.
yeah,
So you're
yeah,
projecting that already as if it's already happened. And
yes,
that's what people will believe. Whether you are 100% convinced of that or not is irrelevant, because that is what you project, and people
yeah.
always respond to what you project.
Yeah, I love that so much. Let's carry on the story because, yeah, so 10 years younger, I have to say I was a huge fan. I have to get that in there because I used to watch that every week without fail. Jen, I loved watching you. I love your style. I love, yeah, you're just,
Oh, thank you.
and
That's
your
nice to
story
hear.
is so inspiring because it wasn't all smooth sailing, was it? So 5 years with 10 years younger, and then maybe, pick up the story and tell us what happened next.
So yeah, so 10 years younger, roller coaster ride, but overall, top makeover show in the world at one point. So
Yeah.
um, really fabulous. But behind the scenes, there was a lot of bullying through the TV companies. It would be like, oh yeah, Nikki, the series, we're really bored of your look. Could you cut your hair? Could you do something different? Or if we don't get 5 million viewers on this episode, you're out. You've got to
No.
you've got to perform. You've got to get those. It was just constantly. It was never, you're amazing. This is a phenomenal show. We're so thrilled. It was always, you need better. You need
Yeah.
to change. We need something fresh. We need something different. Da da da. Why don't you wear a wig? Let's get her a wig. I mean, it just went on like this constantly. And actually, for my fifth series, my self-esteem just went lower and lower and lower.
Yeah. That's
Um, because
awful.
I just didn't have any support from the channel. And I remember they once said, "Oh, we've got I think it was a Times or a Telegraph or someone journalist coming. She wants to be there behind the scenes while you're filming and stuff like that." And I was like, "Oh, this is exciting. This is all very great." And the journalist was just there to do a complete sting piece. So
No.
everything she wrote was just awful, and there was no support from the channel. They didn't provide any, they should have had a PR person there with me, because they would have known that it was that kind of interview.
That's
Then
really
afterwards they
bad.
should have supported me in helping. I was devastated, and their response was, you need media training, so come along and we'll tell you what you're doing wrong. um, and it just really wore down my self-esteem. 100%. It
Yeah.
was just, I wasn't in a happy place, but it was still a great series, and we're still producing great content. So
Yeah.
I finished series 5, and then I think we're going to start filming series 6 in about September time. And I remember in August, I think it was the 6th of August, I was working with Superdrug on a potential skincare line, which was super exciting. I kind of felt like, yay, 5 series in, I finally, things are starting to happen.
Yes.
And I had gone down to a perfume factory in Surrey to talk about scents for the skincare line. It was just such a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. I was driving my little old model TT down the A3 in the highway. It was just a real pinch me moment of like, I've
Oh,
arrived. Like, this is
yes,
just
this is it.
everything I've been working so hard towards. And I just felt on cloud nine. Had the meeting. On my way back, my agent called and I was like, hi, let's talk about the meeting, how it went. And he just said, he was just quiet. And I was like, is everything okay? And he said, you've been dropped.
Oh, Nicky.
And I don't know how I got home, but I did. But I just remember getting home and just sitting in my car and just sobbing, but like heaving almost, just because
Yeah,
I knew that the fact that I'd been dropped would just have such a negative impact on my career. It didn't matter how much good had been before that or how successful it'd been, I had been dropped. So if the show had come to a natural end, that would have been fine because I always would have been remembered for the success. But because
yes.
I'd been dropped, it's just seen as such a, well, what did
Oh,
she do? What was wrong? Everyone's, minds go. And it was
yeah,
just like the worst thing
yeah.
that could happen. Um,
I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, yeah, I think there's so much talk now, isn't there, about mental health and TV presenters that have really struggled. And yeah, so this was a little while ago, obviously, wasn't it? But
This is
just
2008. This
yeah,
is such a long time before anyone worried about mental health. It was just, it's a privilege to be on TV and,
yeah.
get
It
on with
lasts
it.
as long as it's lasted. Good luck, have a nice life, kind of thing. Yeah.
Whatever, that's great. And fair
Oh,
enough. I mean, things come and go. So, I mean, that's not, I don't have an issue with that, but it was just brutal because that was my life. And things were just starting to happen. And then to
oh.
lose it all in an instant, and literally it was that instant. So
That's
Superdrug never
brutal,
happened.
isn't it?
All the
Yeah.
all the deals I had in the pipeline all vanished overnight.
No.
Everything just disappeared instantly.
Well, it
It
was
was
literally
just,
like waving a magic
yeah,
wand and then poof, it all just
didn't
disappeared.
matter that I still had a profile, credibility, and obviously those are the days before social media. So it's not I would have had millions of followers,
Yeah.
um, but I didn't have any of that because it didn't exist. But
Yes.
everything disappeared, and so all of a sudden I went from being top of the world,
Yeah.
something, to
Yeah.
absolutely nothing, but
Oh,
nothing, but still recognizable with and a name that people have recognized, which made it worse because there was
yes.
no hiding, right?
Yeah.
You can't just disappear
Yeah.
because people go, "Oh my God, are you that guy?" And I mean, I had PTSD for so long. I mean, I had my
Oh,
kids
bless you.
after that, and then I have to go on the school run, and you'd get this, "Oh my God, are you that girl?" And you'd just be like, "Please don't talk about it. Please don't mention it," because I always use
Yeah.
my married name at school in the hope that
Yes.
I could just kind of blend in under the radar. But and it would just
Oh.
start my heart racing. I'm like, no, no, don't talk about it, don't mention her. What is she going to say? Is she going to, oh, it
Oh
just
my
was
goodness.
awful.
Yeah, yeah, the
Um,
anxiety that came as a result. Yeah, that's how did you cope with that longer term? Because obviously the initial reaction is yeah, dealing with that is really hard. But time's a great healer, as they say. And so did you talk to anybody professionally? Friends
I
that you could
did have,
confide
yeah,
in?
well, I think I did have some CBT counseling at one point, which was very good because that helped me reframe things a bit. Because in your mind, you have this, I've got loser tattooed across my forehead and I'm a complete failure. And everyone just sees that about me. And actually, she helped me go, well, no, that's not true. You
Yeah.
still, because I'd forgotten all that I had achieved because it was in my mind, I was a total failure. Now it was worse than it was worse than never having done something
Yeah.
because you now have remembered for the disaster rather than what you did before.
Oh,
Um, so I had the CBT, and she said, "You know what, Nikki, you need to walk away. You need to close the door on media and the TV, and just walk away, do something completely different." And I was like, "Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. I just need to walk away." And so I did.
yeah.
Stopped working with an agent, stopped doing anything, just completely walked away. Still had my styling business, still did that, had my really young kids, and just focused on that. And that was fine. I was sticking around. I convinced myself that yeah, this is all good.
Yes.
I'm a mom, and I'm going to be a super mom, and I'm going to cook nice meals for everyone. I'm going to have dinner parties, and I'm going to just, this is all great. I'm good. I'm satisfied. This is all perfect.
Yes.
And
I have a feeling that you were trying to convince yourself that this was right, and like deep inside, there was still, yeah, a
There's
hankering
always
for,
this
yeah,
itch, this restlessness, this, well, you can't stop there, Nikki, because that can't be the end of your story.
yeah,
I just, that was the thing that constantly got to me, is that your story can't end on that note. No
yeah,
one is going to have you stand up there and talk to them about, yeah, and I did this TV role, all great, and then I got dropped.
yeah, yeah,
And what then? There was no what then. It was just that was that, and I just went into a hole, and I just focused on like being a mom, and that was that.
yeah.
Um, and it was when I turned, well, COVID happened, and I turned 50 during COVID, and all
Me
of a
too.
sudden you know what it was like, homeschooling, and it's just a nightmare. And even my
Yes.
business, which was doing relatively well, was doing quite well then. I was running courses, doing all that stuff, completely dies. So you then
Mm.
lose that as well. So you lose the
Oh,
business that was ticking over nicely, and everything is gone again. And so you're back to, well,
back to
what
square
now?
one again. It's so
Again,
hard,
what
isn't it?
now? And it was in that moment of like, actually, I'm 50 years old. I'm not going to get another 50 years. So who knows how much time that I have left? I mean, it sounds morbid, but you know what I mean. You
Yeah.
can't take anything for granted when you
No,
turn 50, can you?
I get it. I get it. 100%. Yeah.
And it just hit me that I was not born to sit in my back room and just push some
Make
paper
do.
around
Yeah.
and just be a little nobody. That was never my destiny. And it is time to step back and own my power.
Yes.
So I just I 2020 I said, right, I need to get back to me. I need to get back to being in the front of the room. I get back to inspiring people, to transforming people, to doing the things that really make my heart sing. And in doing that, I need to confront all those demons that I've, and all those things I've not confronted along the way.
Yes.
Um, so that was 2020, and it's taken me we're 2026 now. So even
I
though I
know.
had that thought then, it took me a good 4 years to really get the momentum going. Right, I'm going to write a new book, get that sorted. I got an opportunity to go and present a small series on This Morning. Um, that came along. Then last year, I got the opportunity to be fashion director on Platinum magazine. And slowly but surely, it's just chipping away, right?
Yes.
And I think, when I had everything on top of the world and then you lose everything, there's a real sense of pride you need to swallow, because you were somebody, you were something, and then it's all taken away. Now you can
Mm.
either wallow in the fact that you're no longer that person, or you just embrace where you are now and you're going to build yourself back up. So I, over the last 6 years, I have acted as if I am starting from scratch again. So there is never a sense of, oh, but I'm too good for that. Oh no, well, do you know who I am? It's just like, I will do anything and everything, and any opportunity that comes my way, I will take it with a big smile and be grateful and thankful for it, because it's one step
Yeah.
closer to where I need to be.
Yeah.
Um, and it just takes time, doesn't it? So
It
I'm
really,
not where I need to be yet, but I'm loving the journey and
that's
doing
the
lots of
most
fun things.
important thing, right? Isn't it? Is that we love what we do. And I think as business owners, we put so much pressure on ourselves. We look at what other people are doing and think, oh, I should be doing that, or I should be doing this. And I think in the business space, there are lots of high figure earners, and you
Yeah,
aspire to that. But why are you aspiring to that? Is that really what you want? It's defining your version of success, what that means to you, and taking baby steps to achieve it, trying not to, because I'm guilty of this as well. I'm what's next, what's next, what's next kind
yeah,
of person, and actually not taking time to really appreciate what's happening right now, what we've achieved,
absolutely.
because you've achieved so much, and you look back at that journey that you've been on. It's been a crazy roller coaster ride, but it's led you to where you are now, and all the lovely things that you're going to get to do now. So
Exactly. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? This time round, I was less rabbit in the headlights and more like, every time I do something, I'm going to drink a glass of champagne to celebrate that little milestone,
Yes.
right? So whatever, however small it is, I'm going to do it because this is a big deal for me right now, and this is celebrating how far I've come.
Yeah.
And the thing I always say to people is, it's so important to stay in your lane. So
Yeah.
when you and we, as you say, we all do it, see someone else doing something, you go, oh, why are they doing it and not me? And oh my God, why aren't I there? And whatever. And it's even worse for me because obviously I compare myself to people who were at the same level as me and are now way above me.
Yeah.
Um, there is enough success in the world for everyone. And everyone has a different time when they're going to rise up and shine. And all you have to do is be really clear on what you want to achieve
Love
and
it.
stay in your lane.
Yes.
Don't get sidetracked by what someone else is doing. And the same goes with fashion. Don't look over there and think, oh my God, I need to be dressed like that. Define your style, stick to it, develop a style identity, stay in your lane, and the success will come.
Yes. That's such wise words. It's so brilliant hearing you talk about all of the things that we talk about as small business owners. It's all relatable. It will mean something to everybody that's listening. Going on with we were talking about manifesting at the
Mm.
start. And imagining what you want your future to look like, but then also taking aligned action to make it happen. I talk about that a
Yes.
lot as well, is that you can dream to your heart's content. You can sit there writing in your journal and meditating, imagining, picturing your future, but if you don't take action, it's never going to happen.
And also it's not big action, it's
Yeah.
tiny actions, and it's about consistently taking those actions,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
Sometimes it's just sending that one email, or it might be researching a contact, or it might be just putting your lipstick on and getting dressed up today to
Yeah.
just boost your energy. But
Yeah.
doing that consistently adds up to results.
It really does.
um,
It
you
really
can't
does.
just, as you say, go, please, universe, help me. A friend of mine was saying, yo, this is the year, I'm going to find love or something. And she said, oh, but I said that last year as well. And I said, okay, well, you said that last year. Now you're saying it again. But did you take any actions last year towards making that happen? And she was like, no. And I was like, well, you have to get on a
Yeah.
dating site or get a dating coach. She said, oh, no, but that's not my thing. I was like, it doesn't matter. Take the action.
Yeah.
Even if it's actually a sign to the universe, you're prepared to do anything to
Yeah.
achieve your goal.
Yeah.
And you'll end up meeting someone totally separately, but you've got to show the universe you're prepared to do whatever it takes to get where
Yeah.
you want to go.
Yeah, and talking to you today, I said at the start, I didn't know who my 100th guest was going to be. I just knew that, something was going to happen. I've put in all of the hard work, I think, to get myself to 100 episodes. I haven't dropped the ball. It's been a weekly show since I started.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, but I love it so much. I love talking to you all so much. You all coming and sharing your stories so passionately, and you're all so different. You've all been through so many different things. Personally, professionally, that it's genuinely an honor and a privilege to chat to you all every week. And I have an endless list of ladies now wanting to come and chat to me, which is, it's such, I feel blessed, truly. But it kind of it ties in with what we were saying, that you being here today, I haven't magically made that happen.
No,
It's been hard work over the last 2 years, that consistency that you were saying. So yeah, that would be my advice as well, is have a clear picture in your mind of what you want, go after it, ignore the haters because they will come, and just keep going forward, keep pushing forward. We've almost run out of time, which makes me
no.
very sad because I could talk to you all day. Thank you so much for coming to chat to me. Before I ask you my two questions,
Yeah,
what's next on the horizon for you? So would you want to do more TV, or is
yeah.
it
I
just
mean,
nice
that's
to,
my
yeah,
big. This year is Project TV deal.
yeah,
I'm saying it out loud, um, just because it's putting that message out to the
yes, it
universe.
is,
But
yeah.
last year was all about my book, Bolder Not Older. Um, and this year, I really want to focus on really cementing a TV show again. That's my ultimate dream.
Oh,
So it may not happen, but I'm going to do everything I can to achieve that. And I've also found that having an overriding purpose for a year really helps focus me, because so many things come in and you can get sidetracked, and then you're doing a bit of
yeah.
this and a bit of that, and then you're not achieving your goal. Oh, I'm not achieving my goal, but it's because you're focus is so spread. So
Yes.
last year I said, right, I'm just going to really focus on my book and spreading that message. This year, and it's all about Project TV, and it's going to be tough, and it's going to involve a lot of rejection, and who knows if it'll happen or not, but I just feel really ready.
Yeah, ready to take it
Um,
on again. I think the journey that you've been on has prepared you for that, the roller coaster that's inevitably
Absolutely.
gonna happen, isn't it? You're gonna have some opportunities, some aren't gonna pan out, but you're a different person now though, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I genuinely believe if something is your purpose, a door will open.
Yeah.
You've just got to keep knocking on those doors.
Yes, yes. Oh, this is all just so good. Thank you so, so much. So let's finish up with my two questions that I ask everybody that comes and chats to me on the podcast. So my first question to you is there one thing that you wished you'd known before you became a business owner?
I mean, there's lots of things, right? But I think the one overriding thing for me is that it's really lonely,
Mm,
and you can have a huge passion and a big idea and get all excited about, this huge global business you're going to create. But at the end of the day, and for a long while, it is just you. And when you have a good day, it's great. When you have a bad day, the only person that's going to pick you up and get you back out there is yourself. And you really need to be self-motivated
yeah,
because otherwise it won't happen.
yeah,
And I think a lot of people just get, caught up with the lights and the excitement of it all. But actually, you really need to be someone who not only believes in your what you're creating, but also is really self-motivated
yeah,
and can
yeah.
just get yourself going in good times and bad times.
Yeah, that's really great advice. Be determined, as we've said. Don't try not to listen to the people that will try and pull you down. But tap into communities like the Sisterhood
Yes,
Networking Group. I can highly recommend them.
community is so
Um,
important.
yeah, I think there's going to be a real focus on that this year more than the last sort of 5 years or so. Obviously, COVID meant that we couldn't be together anyway, but I think even more now, there's a pushback from the online stuff to that more sort of in-person
Absolutely.
connection.
It's all about experiences and community and
Yeah,
being
finding a
aligned with
tribe.
people who are similar to you.
Yeah, yeah. Sick, and it might be that the sisterhood isn't right for you, but go and seek out, a tribe of people that have your back, that, want to support you, want the best for you. And if you only meet them once a month, at least it's something to look forward to where you can go and offload. You can go and say, well, this was a bit rubbish or this was amazing. And people will
Yeah.
celebrate with you. And it's so important, yeah, to
How
have
many
those
people
cheerleaders.
have you got in your network now?
So there are currently 11 franchises in various different
Please, you've done
locations.
so well. That's
Ah, thank
amazing.
you. Thank you so much. I just identified that there was a real need for women to come together that wasn't corporate or stuffy or nailing your elevator pitch. It was
Yeah,
more about us just sharing experiences, saying, "Oh, I've been through that too," or
yeah.
asking for advice because, starting your own business, it's not for the faint-hearted, as we've just
No.
said.
And
There's
it's
lots to
constantly, a
learn.
world is evolving all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we're growing all the time. Currently, predominantly in Essex, but also in Kent and Wales as well, and Portsmouth.
Amazing.
So
Funny thing is that after I left business school, I became a franchise consultant.
no way.
One of the
Yeah.
many funny things I've done in my life.
Oh, but all of these little things that we do all come together to lead you to where you are right now. So
Yeah,
you might think
exactly.
that it's irrelevant, that it didn't matter back then, or but everything that we do, it makes us who we are. So that was a great answer to a question that we massively went off on a tangent about.
Sorry, as
Um,
always.
can I ask you to leave us with a top tip? It might be fashion related or business related or a bit of both.
I think, well, I can do a fashion related one actually.
Yes, that would be
Dress
amazing.
for the person and the brand you're trying to create
Ooh, I like that.
so that you visually represent what you sell.
That's so
And
good.
that makes it so much easier when you're someone like you are and I am, who walks into a room of people you don't know and just go, oh my God, I just don't think I can possibly do the small talk. Um, when you visually represent what you do, you sell yourself without having to speak.
Yes.
And it's really powerful, particularly when you've got to go to networking groups and you've got to stand up and do, little talks or whatever.
Yeah.
Stand out,
Yes.
elevate your look. Be the eye-catching one around the table so that people naturally gravitate to you and want to talk to you and find out more about you. Make your outfit interesting so that people will naturally go, oh, I love your earrings, or I love your dress. And then
Yes.
what you do becomes part of the conversation as opposed to going, hi, who are you? What
Yeah.
do you do? And it all just seems a bit forced and a bit unnatural. So,
I
use the visual element to just open doors for you.
Yeah, I love that. Interestingly, so I'm wearing my brand colors today.
Oh,
For
there you
those that are
go.
audio
My
only,
favorite colors.
I'm wearing a red sort of snake skin top with sort of a bit of purpley blue in, and that they are my brand colors. And last Christmas, I went, my color is going to be red. That's it. And I do have a lot of red in my wardrobe now. I have a beautiful red coat that I wear if ever I'm going to an event where people might not know me. I totally agree that, maybe pick a color. It might not necessarily be completely, aligned to your brand, but you feel great in it. Here's me giving style advice when I'm chatting to Nicky Hambleton-Jones, because yeah, that's what you do.
But there you go. You're living it and breathing it, aren't you?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I
No,
just
I
think a
love
lot
that.
of people have an idea and start a business, but they don't really think about themselves. And
Yeah.
actually, it really helps to think about what you're selling and get your image right, get your wardrobe aligned, and dress boldly.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't be
just think
frightened
it's
of
not
it.
important because it really is,
Yeah.
especially when you're on your own and you don't have a big well-known brand behind you.
Yeah, such great advice. You're lovely. Thank you so much for coming and spending some time with me today. It's been absolutely brilliant to get to know your backstory and all the things that, have made you who you are today. Before I say goodbye to you, I can't let you go without you sharing your links. Where do you want us to go? Where can we find you? Tell us everything.
Well, please follow me on Instagram using my name, Nicky Hambleton-Jones. You can find my new book, Bolder, Not Older, on Amazon.
Ah,
Please go and buy it.
yes, everybody has to buy
You
it.
have to buy it. Honestly, it will transform the way you look and feel about yourself. And for £15, that's probably two coffees worth.
Yes,
And it'll set you up and your business for the rest of the year, right?
yes, it will.
Um, and my website is also my name, Nicky Hambleton-Jones. So just Nicky Hambleton-Jones, Google, Instagram,
Search her
TikTok.
up. She's
I'd really, really
everywhere.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I wish you every success for the future. I am manifesting an amount. I'll be switching on the telly and I'll be like, there she is.
Oh, yes.
Yes, yes, yes. I can't wait. Super excited for us both for 2026. Have an amazing one, lovely lady. And I'm sure our paths will cross again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Love chatting. And yes, bring on 2026 for us both.
Let's go. Thank you. Bye.